blue, green, red.
And it's a very good morning to the Gelding on a magnificent day in Melbourne and racing at Caulfield Gelding. And once more, no spectators there to take in the wonderful Memsie Stakes Day.
Oh, Professor, look, there might have been a chance we could have been there, but beautiful day out here at Caulfield South. Not a blue sky, not a breath of wind. Track should be perfect. Good horses there at Caulfield. Would have been a sensational day to be there today, Professor. Excuse me. A pity no fans. And of course, footy finals are upon us, Professor.
Yes.
So what a glorious day it would have been, or a glorious night it would have been at the MCG tonight, but not to be. I'm sure you'll be watching from Adelaide, Professor.
Yeah, Gelding, no MCG and no Jim Stein's Grill. So that's a real problem, but at least my team's playing, so I'm happy about that.
Yes, I wish you, Toddy and Cooter, all the best. I'm sure you'll be riding every kick of the game tonight on TV, Professor.
Yeah, well, at least I can see it, so there's that to it, Gelding.
Yeah.
All right, well, back to the races. As I said, Memsie Stakes Day, a big day of racing at Caulfield. One Group 1, 3 Group 3s in a listed race, so there's plenty of action. The track's rated a good 4 at the present time and the rail's in the true position, so everything going for a great day of racing. Gelding, just before we go to the best bets for today, a little bit of angst in racing circles when 4 jockeys were caught by the COVID trap at Mornington in an Airbnb. What's happening there?
Oh, Professor, the 4 jockeys, Jamie Carr, Ben Mellum, Celine Gaudry and Ethan Brown decided to, by the looks of it, partied up down at Mornington. COVID breaches, being hit with $5,000 COVID fines, which may not hurt them too much, but they'll all have the capacity to do them. But all of them suspended for 3 months. So they'll miss the Melbourne and Sydney Spring Carnival, Professor. Jamie Carr, the leading jockey, Ben Mellum, a senior jockey, with 2 up-and-coming apprentices, would have been in for very successful times, Professor. So this may hit their hip pocket, in the region of lost opportunities of probably $250,000 to someone.
Gelding,
a good jockey, can make $500,000 to $1 million a year, as long as they get good rides during the Spring Carnival. And well, let's see today. The first Group 1, Jamie Carr was on Behemoth, and now to be replaced by Brett Preble, and Ben Mellum was on
Bo Rossa.
Yeah, Bo Rossa, the beat Behemoth across the line last time, but lost on in the stewards room. So look, lost opportunities for them. I'm reading in the paper they feel embarrassed and dumb and things like that. But yeah, certainly not a good story for racing, Professor. And Ben Mellum, like, Jesus, he's just come off 5 months suspension for betting, Professor. Now he's going to lose another, 3, and this is the time he's in his prime as a jockey. And believe me, there'll be plenty of other jockeys taking their spots. So
you said lost opportunity, Gelding. You're correct. Of course, Brett Preble is one of the beneficiaries, as you say, on Behemoth. So he's getting a ride in the Group 1 when he wasn't going to have one.
Yep, and it's worth $1 million. So first prize is $650,000. The jockey you get 32 grand for winning it, So, let's hope Behemoth gets up, Professor, and then they can feel the grief of it.
Yes, very much so, Gelding. All right, Gelding, what are
Is
your
that
two best?
Karma? Would that be Karma?
Yes, it would be Gelding. It certainly would be Karma. Tell me this, Gelding, what are your best bets for today?
Oh, Professor, like the program. Certainly like one of your tips, which will go later on. Also like, Probabile in race 6. But I've decided, Professor, on Taurus in race 4, number 1. This horse trained by the Freedmans, to be ridden by Luke Curry, who rode it to win the Blue Diamond at Caulfield in the autumn. This is a tremendous horse with a great turn of speed, Professor. And even though there's some very good horses in this, with like General Bow and Lightsaber and Mr. Mozart, this horse, if it's within a couple of lengths coming around the turn, Professor, I think it just may be too good for them. It managed to run 6 in the Golden Slipper, Professor, and that was when it was going, didn't handle didn't handle the Sydney way of going, Professor, and went down the straight, very much in a zigzag kind of pattern. So I've been waiting for this horse to return. Sorry, Professor, just had to take a little drink there. And the second pick, Professor, we'll wait till the last at 5:20 in the Ned's filter form. We'll go the Mick Price trained. Again, a horse that was going to be ridden by Jamie Carr, now replaced by John Allen in Eraton. Professor, this is a horse Mick Price took up to Queensland, was a new sensation of Queensland during the winter carnivals, was hoping to run it in the Stradbroke, which is Queensland's best race. It ran second, so he kept it down a tier. An open race, Professor, with 55 kilos. Eraton, maybe one that we can follow during the spring.
Two very good tips there, Gelding.
And Professor, you like?
Yeah, I'm going early, Gelding. I'm looking at race 1, the Ned's Handicap, over 2,400 metres. It's an open race. The horse I like in that race is horse 4, Heir to the Throne. It doesn't tick the filters that we use. Sorry, Gelding?
I like it.
Yeah, it doesn't tick the filters we usually like with its win and place ratings, because it's only been a winner 18% of the times and only placed 41% of the times, but it's been a winner of its 2 of its last 3. It's won over the distance. It has the informed jockey Craig Williams aboard.
Maybe the new favourite for the jockeys. The jockey's title with Carr out now, Professor.
Yes, possibly, Gelding. Williams' career win rate is 13%, but over his last 50, he's now up that to 18%. So he's certainly in form, and that's something you've got to look at.
Oh, champion jockey, and normally gets a choice of a few rides, Professor. So, yeah, you like it. Didn't like number 3 in the race, Professor?
Tooradin?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, look, I looked at Tooradin's form. It's certainly a good horse, but might be tested over the 2,400 metres. It's only run 2,000 metres in the past, and there's a query over the distance, I think.
Yes, and it's only won up to 1,700, I've seen the form guide, Professor. So, yeah, maybe a question mark over the mile and a half.
Yes, Gelding, and trained by a trainer we don't talk about very much, Andrea Leake, local trainer at Pakenham. Only has 5 horses, but this is probably one of the better ones she has.
Oh, well, any horse that wins $250,000 in prize money is one of the better ones, isn't it, Professor?
Yes, it is, Gelding. It certainly is.
You've got to look at the prize money one, Professor. That normally tells you a lot about them.
Yes, you can't go past that. All right, my second tip for the day is race 5, the Heath 1100 Stakes over strangely 1,100 metres.
Yep.
A Group 3 and very hard to go past horse 1, Gelding. I know it's coming off a spell, but Masked Crusader.
Exactly, Professor. I'll let you go into all the details why, but
Well,
this could be the bet of the day.
Yes, Gelding, it's short, but as we know, Little Fish are sweet.
Yep.
It's won a Group 1, the William Reid Stakes, where it had one of our favourite jockeys, William Pike, aboard.
Yes.
It ran second in a Group 1, the TJ Smith Stakes. It ran second to another horse we love, Nature Strip.
Yep.
And we know any horse that's beaten by Nature Strip's probably a pretty good horse.
Normally very, very good.
And it also ran third in the Group 1 Canterbury Stakes to Savatiano. Its pattern of racing, Gelding, is it tends to get back in its races. So hopefully Caulfield today will welcome the swoopers. We love the swoopers, especially if we've got our money on them.
Professor, we didn't talk much about the track today. There's no reason why it should be anything, and I hope if you're the best horse in the race, whether you're leading, sitting just off the pace, or whether you're sitting midfield or back, you get an equal chance. So look, that's all we can hope for. And the tips are made basically. Caulfield's had the perfect week of weather, and let's hope the track shows that and races fairly instead of being very biased. I'm sure we'll comment tomorrow if it's not, Professor.
Yes, we're hoping for no bias whatsoever, Gelding. The horse being ridden by Jai McNeil, who's in good form at the moment. His career form's 10%, but over his last 50, 12%. And being saddled up by the Hawks stable, who have a record of placing 42% of their horses. So it'd be nice to nearly get 50% every time you put a horse on the track, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be fantastic, Professor. Look, some good horses in there. Crosshaven, Oaksley Road, Veradine. But, this is a horse that's won over $1 million. Was beaten its last start before put out for a spell by 1.2 lengths, Professor, in the Group 1 all age. So, you're talking a quality animal in Masked Crusader.
Yeah. All right, Gelding, let's look at the Professor's Parlay. The 2 out of 3 doesn't get you home, Professor's Parlay.
Look, that was last week, Professor. The week before?
Yes, 3 out of 3.
Very
3 out of 3 the week before, Gelding.
Yeah, the very successful Professor's Parlay.
All right, our agreed bet of the day, and we've just been speaking about the horse, Gelding, race 5, horse 1, Masked Crusader. Very hard to go past that. Currently showing $1.80 on the tote. Might start a little bit shorter than that, but the bets are already on, Gelding, so we don't have to worry.
All right. Well, that's a good way to be, Professor.
And let's parlay that into Manchester City playing at home to beat Arsenal. My team, Arsenal, Gelding, in a 2-horse race, they're currently showing $11 the win. So what does that tell us? What does that tell punters?
Man City should win 4-0. or 5-1 maybe, Professor.
Yeah.
That means Man City wins very, very comfortably.
All right, Gelding, let's parlay that into Tottenham to beat Watford. Watford, another team that's not going all that well. It hasn't started well in the Premier League. They're currently showing $8, so they've probably got slightly more chance than Arsenal, but really no chance when it all boils down. The parlay showing not bad odds, Gelding, of 3-1.
Small fish are sweet, Professor. I like it. You've stayed away from the rugby league and the AFL this week.
Well, not going to bet on my team, Melbourne, Gelding.
Right.
And with rugby league, Melbourne Storm are about $1.02 as we speak, and Penrith are $1.03. Now, normally I'd take those races, but I think there's a little bit more value in the Premier League.
Oh, well, good to always explain to the reasons behind it, Professor.
Yes, Gelding. And listen, there's another race meeting today at Warwick Nabil, where one of our favourite
horses, is it?
Craig Robertson's riding.
Sports Fan Zone.
Warwick Nabil, the track's a good 4 with a rail out 2 metres, so wouldn't have thought there'd be much bias there. the two horses he's riding I like there today, Gelding, a race 2, horse 5, Loyal Consul, which,
Yeah.
we both give each other Loyal Consul at times.
Yes.
Only had 2 starts, but Robbo's got it across the line for a placing in one. And the other horse I like is race 3, horse 3, and a very much favourite of the giraffes, yours and mine, Toffee Nuts.
Oh, Professor Toffee Nuts. Third, like on it last start, so 2 starts for a 0 and a third. We were on it last start.
On it for the place, and it was a very...
I believe he did a little bit better than the giraffe and myself. I just took it at the TAB odds when it ran third and paid a beautiful $9.20. And halfway down the straight, I thought we were going to get the win bet up.
That's right, Gelding.
Yeah, and I noted, I haven't checked the odds yet, but I note today, Professor, in the paper, it's got $61 next to its name.
Well, the wise counsel on that, Gelding, is back those 2 for the place, not for the win, and you should come home with some money in your pocket.
As we said, Craig's a very, we like him. He's a bit of a journeyman, travels the state of Victoria, but with Craig, you're getting a very solid, experienced jockey every time he's aboard your horse. So one thing about Toffee Nuts, it'll have its chance, Professor.
Well, Gelding, if we look at...
Do we like the name?
Yeah, we love the name, Gelding.
Okay, good.
Gelding, the giraffe, I think, said it well about Robbo, and that is he covers more ground than the Leyland brothers to ride in races.
Yeah, and does pretty well. So, he doesn't seem to pick up the rides from the bigger stables, but as he said, a bit of a journeyman, and just a professional, hard-working jockey, Professor. So, you got the Jamie Carrs on one side, and you got the Robbos and the thing. I can't see Robbo partying all night in Mornington.
No. Far more stable than that, Gelding.
A little bit more stable than that.
Yeah. All right, Gelding, before we close the show, 2 things. First of all, Sports Fan Radio, another version or another episode of the, what can we say, Lockdown Sports Fan Radio.
Version 200 or something.
Episode 420 or thereabouts, I think, Gelding.
Beautiful.
And
how many of them in lockdown, Professor?
Too many, Gelding, too many.
Maybe some homework for you.
Yeah. All right, and lastly, before we close the show, Gelding, a birthday today that we've got to say something about, the Sydney Colt.
The Sydney Colt.
Birthday today, yes.
Happy birthday, Colt. And which decade is he celebrating? Is it a milestone?
I don't know whether it's a milestone. I don't know which decade, but he's a wonderful bloke, and we wish him all the best for his big day.
Oh, mate, he sensational bloke. Enjoyed the company, having dinner with yourself and the Colt many, many times, and always good to talk. And you know what? Not a bad tipster, Professor.
No, always great to talk racing with him, and we wish him many winners in the next 12 months to come, Gelding.
Well done, Professor. Well done, Colt.
All right. Until next Saturday, Gelding, it's good luck.
And good punting.